Brawl Stars, Doomsday. What if the Brawlers had to save the world? At 3 minutes past midnight, every light inside Starr Park went out. The ride stopped moving. The music disappeared. The arcade screens turned black. And for the first time in the history of the park, everything became completely silent. Then the sky cracked open. Like lightning, not a storm. The sky itself split apart like shattered glass. Green fire poured through the opening. Buildings began shaking. Windows exploded. And above Starr Park, something enormous slowly appeared through the clouds. A metal fortress, dark, silent, covered in green electricity. Every screen inside the park suddenly turned back on. But instead of showing games, advertisements, or cheerful Starr Park mascots, they all showed the same face. A silver mask, cold eyes, a dark green hood, and then a voice spoke through every speaker in the park. People of Earth, your world now belongs to Doom. The ground exploded. A beam of green energy struck the gem mine. Thousands of purple gems tore out of the ground and flew into the sky, forming a glowing storm around the fortress. And somewhere beneath Starr Park, an old emergency system activated. A message appeared on RT's screen. Planetary threat detected. Avengers unavailable. Earth defense probability 0.04%. Then a second message appeared. Alternative defenders required. The screen began searching through every fighter inside Starr Park. Shelly, Colt, Spike, Leon, Max, Surge, Crow, and that was the night the Brawlers had to save the world. Now imagine this. Dr. Doom has entered the Brawl Stars universe. The Avengers are nowhere to be found. Earth's greatest armies cannot reach his fortress. The world is running out of time, and the only people standing between doom and complete destruction are a group of brawlers who normally spend their days fighting over gems, chasing footballs, and hiding inside bushes. This is going to be a disaster. But it might also be the greatest battle Starr Park has ever seen. So let us begin. The first attack lasted less than 60 seconds. Doom's machine surrounded the gem mine and began pulling every gem from beneath Starr Park. The gems moved through the air like purple meteors. They crashed into a giant device beneath Doom's fortress. Each time another gem entered the machine, the crack in the sky became wider. Cities around the world began losing electricity. Satellites fell from orbit. Storms appeared over places where the sky had been clear only minutes earlier. And across the planet, people looked up and saw the same thing. A green symbol burning through the clouds. The Mask of Doom. Inside Starr Park, Shelly gathered the nearest brawlers beside the destroyed entrance to the gem mine. Colt arrived first. Of course he did. His hair was perfect. His clothes were clean. There was an alien fortress floating above him. And somehow this man still found time to look at his reflection in one of his guns. Shelly looked at him and said, "The world is ending." Colt nodded. "I know. Terrible lighting." "Bro, we do not have time for this." Then Max appeared in a flash of yellow electricity. Poco ran behind her, carrying his guitar. 8-Bit rolled out of the arcade with smoke coming from the side of his screen. Spike silently walked towards the group. Nobody had invited Spike. Nobody had even seen him arrive. He was just standing there, smiling, as usual. And finally, the ground began shaking. A huge figure landed in the middle of the group, Surge. He looked up at Doom's fortress, raised both arms and shouted, "Surge Protector!" Then one small Doom robot fired a laser into his chest. Surge flew backwards through a snack stand. Silence. A few seconds later, his hand rose from underneath the broken wood. Surge is still protecting. Good, at least he is confident. But while the brawlers argued about what to do next, 3 poisoned daggers landed in the ground between them. Crow stepped out of the smoke. His jacket was torn. One of his wings was injured, and in his hand, he carried a piece of metal taken from one of Doom's machines. Crow dropped it in front of 8-Bit. "I followed them into the mine," he said. "They aren't stealing the gems for energy." 8-Bit scanned the metal. His screen flashed. A diagram appeared. The gems were not simply powering Doom's fortress. They were being connected to something called the Reality Engine, a machine capable of combining different universes into one. And Doom's plan was much worse than taking over Earth. He wanted to pull every powerful world into a single reality, then rule all of them at once. The Brawl Stars universe, the Avengers universe, every planet, every timeline, every hero, every villain, all trapped inside one world controlled by Doom. Shelly asked the question everyone was thinking. How do we stop it? 8-bit displayed a countdown, 1 hour, 47 minutes. When the countdown reached 0, the reality engine would activate permanently. The portal would become impossible to close. Surge stepped forward. Then we fly up there and punch Doom. Crow looked at him. With what plan? My plan is the punching. That is not a plan. It has worked before. Crow stared at Surge for a moment. Then another explosion shook the park. Doom robots entered through the destroyed gates, hundreds of them. Silver armor, green eyes, weapons glowing in their hands. Crow looked at the approaching army. Then he looked at the brawlers standing around him. A gunslinger obsessed with his hair, a skeleton carrying a guitar, a silent cactus, an arcade machine with anger problems, a hyperactive superhero, and Surge, a giant robot whose entire strategy was still punching. Crow sighed. We are going to die. But he took command anyway, because Crow understood something the others did not. Doom was expecting heroes. He was expecting soldiers, perfect teams, people who followed orders. But the brawlers were not perfect. They were unpredictable, and that might be the only advantage Earth had left. Crow divided the team. Shelly and Colt would defend the park entrance. Max would evacuate the civilians. Poco would remain close enough to heal both groups. 8-bit would study Doom's technology and locate a path into the fortress. Spike? Well, nobody knew what Spike would do. But Crow pointed at him and said, just keep doing whatever it is you normally do. Spike gave him a thumbs up. Terrifying. Surge looked at Crow. And me? Crow turned towards the army of Doom robots entering the park. You wanted to punch something. Surge's eyes lit up. Finally, Surge charged. He smashed through the first machine so hard that its metal body flew into 5 others. He grabbed another robot by the leg, spun around, and launched it through the Starr Park entrance. Max became a streak of yellow light, pulling trapped visitors away seconds before buildings collapsed. Shelly stood in the center of the road and fired blast after blast. Colt jumped beside her. This is where the handsome hero arrives. He fired both guns. Every shot missed. One bullet hit a sign. Another destroyed a vending machine. The final shot bounced off a wall and somehow hit a robot behind him. Colt smiled. Exactly as planned. No, it was not. But the brawlers were holding the line. Poco played his guitar, sending waves of healing energy through the battlefield. Broken machines covered the ground. Green lasers cut through the smoke. And above them, the reality engine continued pulling gems into the sky. Then Doom himself appeared. He did not arrive in a ship. He simply descended from the fortress. His metal boots touched the ground. His cape moved through the smoke. And every remaining Doom robot immediately stopped fighting. The brawlers turned towards him. Surge walked forward. Big metal man. Doom looked up at him. You are the strongest creature in this park? Surge pointed at himself proudly. Correct. Doom raised one hand. A green blast struck Surge in the chest and launched him across the entire battlefield. Surge crashed through 3 walls and disappeared into a building. Doom turned to the others. Pathetic. Crow attacked first. His dagger struck Doom's armor. Poison spread across the metal, then disappeared. Doom looked down at Crow. Your toxins cannot harm me. Crow smiled. They were not meant for you. Doom looked behind him. The poison had entered the exposed machinery connected to his robots. One by one, the machines began shutting down. Doom's army collapsed. Crow had not attacked Doom. He had attacked the system controlling everything around him. And this was the moment Doom realized Crow was not simply another fighter. He was the leader. Doom reached down and grabbed Crow by the throat. You hide behind tricks because you possess no true power. Crow struggled against Doom's hand. Then he looked towards the ruined building behind them. Maybe. A shadow appeared above Doom. But he does. Surge dropped out of the sky. He slammed both fists into Doom's armor. The impact sent a shockwave across Starr Park. Doom crashed into the ground. Surge landed beside Crow. Punching plan. Crow coughed. Still not a plan, but it had given them enough time. 8-bit had located a transport beam connecting the gem mine to Doom's fortress. The brawlers ran towards it. Crow, Surge, Max, Spike, Poco, 8-bit, and Leon entered the beam seconds before it disappeared. They were pulled into the sky. Everything around them became green light. Then they crashed inside Doom's fortress. The interior looked impossible. Endless metal hallways, gigantic machines, windows showing hundreds of different universes beyond the walls. Through one window, they saw a city floating upside down. Through another, they saw a world covered completely in ice. In another universe, Starr Park had been abandoned for hundreds of years. Every doorway led somewhere different. Doom was not only opening portals, he was already testing how different realities could be connected. 8-Bit guided the group towards the reality engine, but the deeper they entered the fortress, the stranger things became. They began seeing alternate versions of themselves. A version of Colt wearing Doom's armor, a giant robotic Spike, a Crow who had never escaped Starr Park's laboratory, a version of Surge completely controlled by Doom. Leon looked through one window and saw himself standing beside Nita in a peaceful world without Brawl Stars battles. For a moment, he stopped moving. Doom's voice entered the hallway. You fight to protect a world that uses you as entertainment. The windows around them changed. They showed brawlers fighting endlessly inside arenas, being defeated, returning, fighting again. Crow saw himself inside a glass cage beneath Starr Park. Surge saw engineers rebuilding him after every battle. Poco saw crowds cheering while brawlers attacked one another. Doom continued, I offer you freedom. The hallway doors closed. Doom appeared in front of them. Join me, and Starr Park will never control you again. For the first time, the team became silent, because Doom was not completely wrong. Starr Park had hidden secrets. It had experimented on creatures. It had trapped the brawlers inside an endless cycle of fighting. Crow looked at the image of himself inside the cage. Doom stepped closer. You know what they did to you. Crow slowly lowered his daggers. Surge looked at him. Crow? Doom extended one metal hand. Lid them beside me. You will never be imprisoned again. Crow stared at Doom's hand. Then he looked at the other brawlers. At Leon, at Poco, at Spike, at Surge. Finally, Crow said, you made one mistake. Doom's eyes narrowed. You think I am protecting Starr Park? Crow threw 3 daggers directly into the control panel behind Doom. The hallway lights exploded. The doors opened. Crow jumped backwards. I'm protecting them from you. The brawlers attacked together. Max circled Doom at incredible speed, creating a tornado through the hallway. Leon became invisible and removed the power cells from Doom's armor. Poco blasted him with sound waves. Surge charged from the front. Spike fired cactus grenades across the walls, covering every exit with thorns. And Crow moved above them, calling every attack. Left side, move, now. Fall back, attack again. For the first time, the brawlers were not fighting one another. They were fighting as a team, and it was working. Doom's armor began cracking. Green energy escaped from his chest. But then Doom slammed both hands together. The entire fortress shook. A blast of magic threw every brawler across the room. Surge hit the wall. Max collapsed. Leon became visible. Poco's guitar shattered. Doom walked towards Crow. You cannot defeat Doom. Behind him, the reality engine reached 97%. The portals above Earth expanded. Buildings began lifting from the ground. Cars floated into the sky. Pieces of other universes appeared inside cities. A frozen mountain crashed into the ocean. A giant alien creature stepped through a portal above Starr Park. The worlds were beginning to merge. 8-Bit examined the reality engine. There was only one way to stop it. Someone had to enter the center of the machine and manually destroy its core. But whoever entered would be trapped when the portal collapsed. Crow heard the message. He looked at the engine, then at the injured team. Without saying anything, he stood up. Surge understood immediately. No. Crow spread his wings. There is no other way. Surge moved in front of him. Surge goes. You are too large to reach the core. Then Surge becomes smaller. That is not how you work. Surge will learn. Crow almost laughed. Almost. Then Doom attacked again. Surge blocked the blast with his own body. His armor cracked. One of his arms stopped working. He fell to one knee but refused to move. Go! Surge shouted. Crow launched into the air. Doom reached for him. Max grabbed Doom's cape and pulled him backwards. Leon fired from the shadows. Poco picked up the broken pieces of his guitar and played one final healing chord. Spike wrapped Doom's legs in enormous thorn-covered vines. Crow flew directly towards the reality engine. The energy tore through his feathers. Purple gems circled around him. Every portal in the room showed a different world. Then Crow reached the core, but before he could destroy it, Doom broke free. He grabbed Surge and threw him through the air. Surge crashed into Crow. Both of them fell beside the machine. Doom entered the chamber. His armor was damaged, his cape was torn, but he was still standing. "You are not heroes," Doom said. "You are toys." Surge struggled to rise. Crow looked around the chamber. No weapons, no escape. The reality engine reached 99%. Then Crow noticed something. Spike was standing behind Doom. Nobody had seen him enter. Spike looked at Crow. Crow looked at Spike. No words, just one small nod. Spike smiled. Then he touched the reality engine. Every gem inside the machine began glowing. Spike's body absorbed the purple energy. His tiny arms stretched, his spikes grew across the floor, then across the walls, then through the entire fortress. A colossal cactus erupted from the center of Doom's machine. Branches smashed through metal. Thorns destroyed the power cables. The fortress cracked open. Doom looked around in disbelief. Crow jumped onto Surge's shoulder. "Throw me," Surge smiled. "Now that is a plan." Surge used his final working arm and launched Crow directly at the reality engine's core. Crow flew through the green fire. He crossed both wings over his chest, then released every poison dagger he had. Hundreds of blades struck the core at once. The machine exploded. The portals began collapsing. Doom screamed as the energy surrounding him disappeared. His fortress started breaking apart. Crow fell from the sky. Surge caught him seconds before they were pulled into the collapsing portal. Max grabbed Surge, Leon grabbed Max, Poco grabbed Leon. 8-Bit activated the transport beam. And Spike? Spike was already standing beside them. Nobody knew how. The Brawlers vanished from the fortress. Doom reached towards them as the portal closed. "This is not over," Crow looked back. "For you, maybe." The sky above Starr Park sealed. Doom's fortress disappeared. The purple gems fell like rain. Across the world, the electricity returned. The buildings lowered back to the ground. The storms vanished. And for a moment, nobody inside Starr Park spoke. Then Surge raised his damaged arm. "Surge saved world." Crow looked at him. "We all saved it." Surge nodded. Surge led team. No, Surge remembers differently. Behind them, Colt emerged from underneath a broken sign. His clothes were covered in dirt. His hair was completely destroyed. He looked around at the cheering Brawlers. "Good news, I survived." Shelly stared at him. "Where were you?" Colt pointed at the ruined sign, leading from a secure location. Of course, Crow walked away from the group and looked up at the clear sky. For the first time, Starr Park had not felt like a prison. The Brawlers had chosen to fight, not for trophies, not for entertainment, not because Starr Park commanded them. They fought because the world needed them. And that might have been exactly what Dr. Doom never understood. The Brawlers were strange. They argued. They made terrible plans. Half of them could not be trusted near powerful machinery. And Spike was still deeply concerning. But together, they had become something even Doom could not control. Heroes. However, deep beneath the ruins of the gem mine, one piece of Doom's armor remained. A small green light appeared inside it. A message began transmitting to somewhere beyond their universe. "Reality engine destroyed. Target world remains active. Prepare second invasion." Then another metal hand reached out of the darkness and picked it up. The screen turned black. Because Dr. Doom may have lost the battle, but somewhere inside Starr Park, someone was already preparing to help him win the war. And that is where our story ends.